Hapa viongozi ambao tunao baada ya maombi ambao tumeongozwa nayo na Askofu Celestius Mugambi, sasa nataka tuchukue nafasi hii kwa sababu governor tunaye sasa. Tuchukue nafasi hii tuweze kumwalika governor watatu wa jimbo la Tharaka Nithi, Mheshimiwa Onesmus Muthomi Njuki atuzungumzie.
Mwadhani umakatereja dore watigane ya tukata shaku yo maritagera no kitegi muige.
Asante.
Tharaka Nithi, Tharaka Nithi, Tharaka Nithi. Emukumona na medho maere ukegwa no kumona na medho maere ukiria njere mwombira ni ngai tamakate kana abishwa no gwitikia the presiding judge and the magistrates who have given us the oath today, His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Tharaka Nithi, Honorable Muisraeli, members of Parliament elect who are here today, the Speaker of the County Assembly, the Clerk of the County Assembly, the County Assembly members-elect, the county employees who are here today, the clergy led by Bishop Celestius Mugambi of the Diocese of Meru, all the other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. I stand here today humbled and in full gratitude to the Almighty God for getting me this far, for it is only through His grace and abounding love that I'm here, having taken the oath of office to serve Tharaka Nithi for the second term. I also thank you, the great people of Tharaka Nithi, for believing in me and your unwavering support against all odds. I am overwhelmed by the faith you have expressed in my leadership, and I can only reciprocate your goodwill by dedicating each and every day to serving you diligently for the next 5 years. Let me also take this opportunity to express my gratitude to you for turning out in large numbers to peacefully vote in the just concluded general elections. The men and women who overwhelmingly voted for me and the rest of the members who are here today and the rest of Kenya are truly the champions of Kenya today. It is said that no man is an island, and therefore I did not accomplish this alone. The stakeholders who did this to ensure that we have victory had very many teams who played various roles in ensuring that we get where we are today. I'll start by thanking my family, led by my dear wife who is here today, for supporting me right from the house to the office and to the campaign field, which was not a joke. I also want to thank the leaders who are here today, have been elected, for accompanying me in the campaign trail and working together. And also I want to thank the dedicated supporters, the Kenya team and Kenya Kwanza and the UDA team for standing with us during the campaign period. In particular, I'm very grateful to my secretariat and all the teams that ensured that we had organized well-oiled campaign that was full of peace and with godly manners in the campaign trail. I will not forget to thank our party leader, the President-elect, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, for the support he gave us and allowing us to run on his party, and even those who are not in his party affiliated to the same in Tharaka Nithi County. I will not forget to thank the IEBC, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, for spearheading a free, fair, credible, and transparent general election that has seen the results that we have today. An election is a competition of ideas where the majority normally have their way and the minority have their say. And I want to call all the leaders, because the politics have just ended with elections, to join me in building this county, because regardless of your political affiliations, all other differences, we are one people and we serve the same person. In Tharaka Nithi, we refer to her as Shambai, and in the rest of the Kenya, they call her Wanjiku. These 5 years, our theme for the next 5 years is leaving no one behind in our administration. For the past 5 years, many administrations set up systems, and we have tried to build infrastructure through close consultation and in very organized synergy with the communities. It is evident and it is visible that we have infrastructure throughout the county which is not questionable. Even those who had the doubts can clearly see and agree with our slogan, Reune Medo. In the health sector in Tharaka Nithi County, we established new outpatient units in Chuka, in Marimanti, in Magutuni, and also built very many dispensaries. In the agriculture sector, we embarked on free certified seed distribution program and also set a very functional artificial insemination subsidized program that has borne fruits with our dairy farmers today. In the trade sector, we have constructed over 10 modern markets and over 300 market stores. On road and infrastructure, we have built over 50 bridges. We have tarmacked over 45 kilometers of roads, and even done other roads that were not tarmac but just paved and marked. In the education sector, we have constructed over 150 classrooms, and we have also built polytechnics. However, in this year, we are asking ourselves, in the next 5 years, how did these projects impact on our community? Because they are just infrastructure programs. In these 5 years, with our theme of leaving no one behind, we want to ensure that these programs has an impact on the lives of our people. It is now time to feel and touch and experience what we have put in place. Because a hospital, which is just a building with no patient who has even been healed there, a road that's leading to a bridge which is beautiful but is inaccessible, a market that is standing tall like the one we've seen around here for Kadwana, but has nothing to sell there, remains nothing as just infrastructure. So these 5 years, we want to make sure that we connect our people to the infrastructure we have built to ensure that they benefit from what has been put together with their taxpayers' money. Those who may have lost me we have built many dispensaries. But a dispensary without a laboratory will not serve the purpose, because that person still has to be referred to a bigger hospital for them to have the laboratory services. We are saying now it is time to go back and ensure that those small dispensaries will have their own laboratories, and ensure that all the services are one-stop shop, so that we can maximize on delivery of service to the people. We'll ensure also that people have adequate quality produce to sell in the markets, because now most of the markets are there. We will also maintain roads to ensure smooth transportation. We will continue to improve the quality of learning through equipping, training, and staffing ECDE centers, as well as vocational training centers. These and more interventions are geared towards ensuring that we leave no one behind, and that we are effectively going to bridge the gap between the communication with Shambai, because it is evident that the last 5 years, even though we tried so much and we buried ourselves in development, we must agree that we can do better in ensuring that our people have a better communication with the government, so that we do not leave anybody behind. My administration worked very hard to bridge the gap between the government and the people that we serve, and we will continue doing this in the next 5 years. I am saying this because despite the fact that we have a government that runs all the way to the villages, by now we must be aware that we have people called community health volunteers who are roots on the ground. We have our sub-county administrators and the ward administrators. However, our government is still not able to know in one day that we had a newborn last night in a certain village. And that is where we want to go. We want to be able to plan for that child who is born the previous day, when we do plans after 3 days. That can only be possible if we have a seamless communication between the government and the people. And that is where we are heading. We, as a government that has been put in the office today and will continue being put in place, we will strive to entrench communication with people living with special needs, with Mama Mboga, chamas, youth groups, juakali artisans, boda operators, barbers, saloonists, and others who contribute, whose contribution has not been fully realized in the recent times, so that we can be able to help them build on their business to be able to take care of their families. As your leader, I promise that I will have a conversation, and we will remain united to find an understanding our challenges together, so that we can be able to seek solutions, ensuring that we leave no one behind. In the last 5 years, Shambai, popularly known as Wanjiko in the rest of Kenya, has faced communication gaps between ourselves and our service providers. The executive, who I represent here today, pledge that we shall bridge that gap to the extent that we will no longer be having people going on a rampage and demonstrating, and the government gets to hear about it in the media. That will be a thing of the past, because we will not only have communication, but we will ensure that we have effective communication all the way from the grassroots to the office of the governor itself. In the last 5 years, I have had some times to do an intervention that did not get approval of most people. Late last year, I disguised myself as an old man, as a patient, and walked into Chuka Hospital, the outpatient. And some people said that I was doing Mashangi, which is a comedian. But I want to guarantee you that after I did Mashangi, or a disguised comedian, or an old man in Chuka Referral Hospital, the services improved, as is evident today. If I have to come to every service in the next 5 years, to ensure that there will be improvement in service, I will. If I have to play Mashangi in every department, I will do it. In the next 5 years, I will call the helpline, which is popularly known as 1513, and I will disguise myself as a Mashangi farmer, because I would like to know how you treat the farmers. I will come to set points where we collect revenue in Kedaga, in Kanoa, in Kituo, in Kerasha, in Keria, and I will become a Mashangi transporter. I will come to the markets where you have the market days and see and disguise myself as a Babamboga. And I'll make sure that I know how we serve our traders. I will come to schools as a watchman and see how you treat our pupils and how you treat our parents. I will come to almost all facilities out there, apart from the one I went to Chuka Hospital, and see how you treat our patients, even in the most remote dispensaries. Even if I have to come to the mortuary as a disguised Mashangi body, as a dead Mashangi, I will come. Because I will leave this time and nobody behind. So even those people who work in those places, be sure I will be there. I don't want to talk about being there. Muthomi Njuki is not an individual, but a government. I want to take this opportunity to thank the national government, represented here today by the County Commissioner of the Kanidi and your security team, who I so much appreciate the work you've done in ensuring that we have a committee that is going to have a smooth transition from Governor Muthomi Njuki to the new Governor Muthomi Njuki and my deputy governor. And I want to pledge that we cannot work as a separate entity because the Mwananchi does not understand the difference between county and national government. I want to pledge today here before these people that we will have a seamless and not negotiable cooperation between the county government and the national government, having put behind all the issues that may have been there during and within the campaign period that you so much understand. Because going forward, it is now service time and not politics time. I do not want to forget to thank the County Assembly of the Rakaniti. The previous County Assembly, represented here by the clerk of the County Assembly, had a very zealous in terms, they had a zeal in ensuring that they make bills. That was a thing of the past in the previous county assemblies. It is important for me to tell the people who are sitting in this room that the county assembly that has just ended did a record bill or laws that are helping the people of Tharaka-Nithi, and a total of 39 bills in only 5 years. Out of those 39 bills, I've already assented to 37 of them, and they are being used by our people to improve the livelihood in Tharaka-Nithi County. I want to thank them, even as they bow out of office, to give way to the third assembly of Tharaka-Nithi. In particular, I want to recognize that they gave us revolutionary bills like the Youth Empowerment Program of 2020 that enabled our youth to be able to get youth empowerment equipment and also funds to be able to enable them to better their lives. You may not believe it. Tharaka-Nithi did not have an act that guided how the bursary is supposed to be distributed. And that is why our people for a long time kept on asking, why is it that the bursaries are not being disbanded? Because there was no law on bursaries. And I want to report that the Tharaka-Nithi County Assembly that has just left passed the Tharaka-Nithi Bursary Act of 2018 that is being used today to give bursaries to our communities. We had a climate change 2019 and also the bill for the PWD that has enabled us to be able to serve them effectively, among others. I am challenging the incoming members of the 3rd County Assembly to ensure that they exceed this record of that 9 bills and ensure that we have a county that is guided by rule of law that is geared towards making sure that service delivery is not hampered by legal issues. Ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on this 2nd term, with eyes fixed on the task ahead, we must appreciate the steps taken in 6 main thematic areas that drive our socio-economic well-being. These are agriculture, health, road, infrastructure, urban development, trade, and education. I want to recognize that Rakanidi is basically agriculture-based, agriculture economy-based county, because 90% of our economic activity comes from agriculture. It is true that in the last many years, since 1963, it's not only in the last 5 years, the agriculture sector faced a myriad of problems that are very well known to you. Allow me to mention that we lack guaranteed markets for produce for our people. That you go in production, not only to feed your family, but you also want to make some money out of that agriculture. But you're not guaranteed of a market for that produce that you produce. That is what we want to work on in these 5 years. That you want to ensure that you will not go into production with mixed feelings or doubts of where will I sell my produce. We also want to make sure that we do not only have markets, but we have what we call minimum guaranteed returns on your investment. That when you go to produce your coffee, you are sure what price will you be able to get in the market. When you go to produce your ndengo, you should be sure that I will sell this ndengo at 100 shillings per kg.